In this lesson, we're going to create some distribution groups to use within the test lab. And to do that, I'm going to use the Exchange Admin Center, which I'm already logged onto here. So in this recipients section, we can go to groups. And at the moment, I've got no groups in my organization. So let's go ahead and create a new distribution group. Now I should note at this point that if you want a group that is solely for the purpose of sending email to multiple recipients, then a distribution group is fine. But if you want that group to basically serve double duty and also control access to resources such as a shared mailbox or a location somewhere on a file server, you can create a security group and then mail enable that security group, and it will basically do both of those jobs for you. So distribution groups if you just want to send mail to them, security groups if you'd also like to use them for securing objects like shared mailboxes and so on. So I'm just going to create distribution groups in this case, and I'll call this one all Brisbane users, and we'll just give that an alias of all Brisbane. And I'm just going to drop that in my Exchange users OU. Now I'll repeat that for Sydney and Melbourne. Okay, so I've got my three distribution groups, all Brisbane, all Sydney, and all Melbourne users. We can see that my email address policy has automatically assigned an email address to each of them, an SMTP address, based on those aliases that I gave them. Now what I'd also like to do is create an all staff or all users group that includes everybody within the organization. So I'll call that one all users and drop it in the same OU. So how do I want these groups to work? Well, basically I want to put my Brisbane users in this group, my Sydney users in this group, and my Melbourne users in that group, of course. And then I'm going to nest each of these groups in my all users group so that I've got one group that I can email when I want to reach the entire organization. So users will be a member of one particular group for the city that they're in, and then each of those groups is nested in the all users group. So let's go ahead and do that nesting to begin with. So we'll just add in all Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne. And let's just take administrator out. Okay, so the all users group, let's go back in and just double check that. Has those other three groups in there. That's done. Now we could repeat that same process for all Brisbane users, for example, and add them in here. We could do an advanced search here based on city or department, but not by OU, which is how I've segregated my users. I haven't actually filled out their city attributes to say that they're in Brisbane. So I'll jump out of this dialog, and what we'll actually do is get mailbox for the organizational unit Brisbane. I'm going to add distribution group member, all Brisbane users. Let's go back in here and have a look at the outcome. And all my Brisbane users are now appearing in that group. So using one PowerShell command, I was able to fill that group up with all of the users in that Brisbane OU. So let's repeat that for Sydney and Melbourne. And that's now complete, and we've now got just a simple group hierarchy of one group per city, all nested in this all users group that can be used for the entire organization. And we can begin using those to send emails within our test lab environment.